Hello friends, today I will show you a common idea to develop fighting initiative that you can use in many openings to obtain a very good position. We will start by looking at this middle game position, but later I will show you 3 different openings from move 1 where same idea can be applied to obtain or attempt to obtain a very big advantage. Please pause the video at this moment and try to think what could you play here if you were given the white pieces. In this position, black lacks space. It's a typical Caro-Kann structure where black wants to initiate exchanges of the pieces. So what would they play? Probably if they had the move would be knight d5. This invites the exchange of the dark square bishops, which probably white would deny. However, it is white to play. And in this position, the idea, thanks to the knight being on e5 and targeting the bishop on g6, is to play the pawn move h4. Now, normally, if the knight wouldn't be there, black could play something like h6 or h5 and defend against the idea of trapping their light square bishop by simply creating a square on h7 for their bishop. However, when there is a knight on e5, the same idea doesn't work so well for black, because as soon as they play a move like h6, now we finally can take the bishop on g6, and they're forced to take with the f-pawn, which severely damages their pawn structure, and the e6 pawn and g6 pawns become too weak usually to hold on for black. If you want to take a look at the alternative, of course, black is not forced to play h6. They could be playing something like rook h e8, just ignoring our threat. And then white would continue with h5. And after bishop e4, the usual and typical move here would be f3. However, in this case, the bishop of blacks could just retreat to the square d5. So we're just making sense of the fact that bishop left the f7 pawn unprotected. And here we just grab that pawn. There's a forcing line. Bishop takes h1. Knight takes d8 and threatening knight takes e6. So black is grabbing the knight. White is grabbing the bishop. And white is not only a pawn up, but the e6 pawn again is severely damaged and probably going to be a very big target from white's point of view. You may think that this middle game is just one out of a million where this idea can be applied. However, I will show you 3 different openings right now where same idea can be applied. Let's start with Scandinavian defense. White plays e4, black plays d5, ed5, queen d5, knight to c3 hitting the queen. One of the moves that they could try is queen a5, d4, knight to f6, knight to f3, and especially loved move in blitz here would be bishop to g4. Now white plays h3. Of course, just giving up the bishop pair for free is not on black's agenda a lot of the times. So a natural move would be bishop to h5. Here white bravely plays g4, bishop to g6, and now we have knight e5 with a very similar threat of playing h4, h5. So if your opponent doesn't do anything here, anything to prevent this, for instance, the most natural move in the position, I suppose, is e6, simply preparing the development of the king side. We have h4, and black has problems again. The threat is to play h5, and if they're playing something like h6, we know that this is not good for black because of knight takes g6, f takes g6, and these pawns are severely weak. They can be targeted very easily, very, very soon, and white usually has close to a winning position in such instances. Okay, next opening. Here, let's take a look at the Caro-Kann, e4, c6, knight to c3, d5, and 2 knights variation, which is getting more and more popularity. Perhaps even we could call this somewhat a main line nowadays. Bishop to g4 here is, I believe, the most popular move by far. And after h3, I also myself like to play bishop h5. Bishop takes f3 is the most popular line, but once again, black is giving up the bishop pair for too early, for not that much. So bishop h5 is another very natural move. Here we're going to continue with ed5, cd5, bishop b5 check, very forcing line, knight to c6. And here, similarly to the previous Scandinavian opening line, we're going to play g4, followed by knight e5, hitting the bishop and hitting the knight, which is currently attacked twice. Black will be defending the knight with the move rook to c8, and once again, we're threatening black's pieces with the move h4. Here, in this concrete position, black has a move that saves himself from getting a very bad position, but it's up for opponent to see that move. Once again, let's repeat that if they play h6 or h5, which is a typical reaction when there is no knight on e5, we just take on g6, take on g6, and after d4, this position is very bad for black. Not only the e and g pawns are weak, but also it's not so clear how to develop kingside safely. If we go back, and perhaps if you're curious to know what black should play here, the move is f6. Not the most natural move, because we usually don't touch f pawns in many of the openings. Usually that puts the black's king at not safety. However, here it turns out that this is okay for black, and after moves like d4 and e6, this king could simply hide on f7. And if we're entering this position, then I believe that the chances are balanced. We set up a trap or try to develop initiative as white. Our opponent played good moves, so we're just back in equality, which you would have normally in most other lines. And the last but not least opening, let's take a look at knight f3 as well. I played d5, that's a very popular move. After g3, I myself also play c6, the second most popular move here in the database. A lot of Slav players like to play this move. Bishop to g2, and here bishop to g4 comes from black's point of view. We are trying to get a similar idea. We establish our knight on e5 with a tempo while hitting the bishop, and the most accurate move, I believe, by theory here is to retreat to the square f5. But I believe that the most natural move is to go bishop h5. So here white can play g4, bishop to g6, and once again h4. Absolutely same idea. If the bishop ever comes to e4, we know we have f3, and our threat is just to trap the bishop. So if our opponent play h6, we once again take on g6, fg6 and d4, and we know that this position is very good for white. Those pawns e and g6 once again are just too weak. So your opponent must find the idea of playing f6, which is not so ideal here. For instance, takes, h takes g6, d4, and after say e6, queen d3 attacking the pawn on g6, king f7, and knight to c3, it feels like the center might open up. White can put her king to safety, for example, with queenside castling very soon, but once the center opens up, we can put the black's king in jeopardy, and white has very good attacking chances because of the richness of the pawn breaks they could use to open up the center. I hope you enjoyed this idea. If you did, please subscribe to my chess channel. You can also consider hiring me as your personal chess coach online. That's my full-time job for the last 10 years. Shoot me an email if you're interested in that. Wish you a wonderful day and see you in a week. Thank you.